Sometimes, the best revenge is pure, unadulterated chaos. My name is Patrick. My professional life involves a lot of precision, a lot of systems, a lot of things operating exactly as they should. Because when things don't, well, it can be incredibly frustrating. Like a bug in the system you just can't patch immediately. Sometimes, after a particularly rough day, you just need a release valve. Something simple, something that takes the accumulated static and just discharges it. I found mine in a rather unconventional place. It started years ago, a completely unplanned variable entering the system. I was at my desk, needing to make a routine business call, found the number dialed. A man answered. "Hello?" he said, pleasant enough. I responded politely, "Yes, this is Patrick Hannafin. Could I please speak to Robin Carter?" And then silence, a click. The line went dead, slammed down, just like that. No wrong number, no sorry, you have the wrong number. Just a curt, rude hang-up. I remember just sitting there, holding the dead phone, genuinely surprised. Who does that? It was an unexpected error, an inefficiency in human interaction. I located the correct number for Robin Carter eventually. Turns out the number I had was off by just 2 digits at the end. A simple typo. I completed my business call, the intended task. But the anomaly, the rude hang-up, it stayed with me. The slip of paper with the wrong number was still on my desk later that day. Staring at it, a thought occurred. That hang-up was a minor offense in the grand scheme of things, sure. But it was unnecessary, rude, a tiny system failure in the politeness matrix. And I had the data point, his phone number. On impulse, I dialed it again. The same voice answered, hesitant this time. "Hello?" I didn't introduce myself. I didn't ask for anyone. I simply discharged some of that day's static. I yelled, "You're a jackass," and hung up the phone. The line went dead again, but this time I was the one who initiated it. And you know what? It felt satisfying. A small, contained release. I wrote the word jackass next to the number on the paper and put it in my desk drawer. It wasn't a plan, just an option. Over the next few months, that piece of paper became my unconventional stress ball. Paying bills, dealing with annoying client calls, sitting in pointless meetings. Whenever the system felt overloaded, I'd open the drawer, dial the number, wait for the hello, and then deliver the diagnostic. "You're a jackass," and hang up. It was simple, anonymous, and it provided a reliable, albeit strange, moment of relief. My little bug in his system. Then came caller ID. A system upgrade rolled out by the phone company. For many, a convenience. For me, a potential roadblock. My anonymous discharge protocol was at risk. If he could see my number, the system would be compromised. I stopped calling for a while. The stress accumulated differently. It wasn't ideal. I pondered the issue. How to bypass the caller ID barrier. How to continue the diagnostics anonymously. Random numbers wouldn't work consistently. Blocking my number might work once, but repeated blocked calls are suspicious. I needed a new method, a new exploit. Then a thought struck. The phone company itself. They were introducing the system. What if I used that knowledge? I dialed his number again. He answered, wary. "Hello." I put on a formal, slightly automated voice. "Hi, this is the sales office of the telephone company. I'm calling to see if you're familiar with our new caller ID program." There was a pause, then a frustrated, emphatic, "No!" and the phone slammed down again. Perfect. I waited just a few seconds, dialed his number again. He answered, clearly annoyed. "What?" I calmly replied, "That's because you're a jackass," and hung up. The caller ID showed unknown number or similar, but the message was delivered. The discharge protocol was operational again, updated and improved. The jackass number 1 protocol remained a useful tool, but even optimized systems can benefit from redundancy. A backup. Another option. The second variable entered the system unexpectedly, much like the first. I was at the mall looking for a parking spot, saw an old woman slowly, agonizingly slowly, backing out of a prime spot. I waited, patiently, giving her plenty of room. Finally, she was almost out. The spot was mine. And then, a rogue element, a black Camaro, speeding down the aisle the wrong way, swerving directly into the spot the old woman had just vacated, blocking me, cutting me off. The driver, a guy with slick-back hair and mirrored sunglasses, climbed out, completely ignoring my horn, my visible frustration. Walked towards the mall without a glance back. Pure, unadulterated arrogance. Another system failure in the politeness matrix. But this one felt more aggressive, more deserving of a more complex protocol. As he walked away, I noticed a for sale sign in the Camaro's back window. A phone number. Another data point. I quickly jotted it down, found another parking spot eventually, the incident replaying in my mind. The arrogance, the disregard. This guy was a prime candidate for the jackass list. A couple of days later, sitting at my desk, I just performed a standard jackass number 1 diagnostic call, now saved on speed dial for efficiency, labeled Jackass Prime. Feeling the usual small sense of relief. Then I saw the note with the Camaro guy's number. Time to integrate the second variable. I dialed the Camaro number. A gruff voice answered. "Hello. Is this the man with the black Camaro for sale?" I asked, keeping my voice neutral. "Yeah, it is," he responded, wary. "Can you tell me where I can see it?" Yeah. I live at 1802 West 34th Street. Yellow house, cars parked out front." "Got it. What's your name?" "Don Hanson." "Okay, Don. When's a good time to catch you?" "Home in the evenings, usually." I paused for just a second. The data was logged. Location, name, availability. Now for the diagnostic. "Listen, Don, can I tell you something?" "Yeah." "Don, you're a jackass." And I hung up. Added Don Hanson to my speed dialer. Labeled him Jackass 2. My system now had redundancy. 2 points of discharge. For a while this was sufficient. 2 jackasses to call when the world felt like it was running on corrupted code. The original protocol provided that familiar, quick release. The new one felt slightly different. Newer. Less earned. The simple, "You're a jackass," felt less potent after the initial reconnaissance. After several months calling both numbers, delivering the same simple diagnostic, the release, it diminished. The system needed optimization, a more complex protocol, a scenario where the variables could interact, where the discharge wasn't just verbal but experiential. I needed to go beyond yelling, "You're a jackass." I needed to engineer a situation where they felt like jackasses, preferably where they felt like jackasses because of each other. I analyzed the data points for both variables. Jackass 1, prone to aggressive hang-ups, clearly annoyed by repeat calls, easily provoked. Jackass 2, Don Hanson, arrogant, disregards others, has a specific location and time of availability, selling a car, implying he might be home expecting calls, share visitors. The goal, bring the 2 variables into proximity, create a catalyst for conflict, remain an anonymous, detached observer. The challenge, how to make them collide, motivated by my actions without exposing my identity. The solution, use their known vulnerabilities and trigger their aggressive responses, but point those responses at each other. The plan began to form, a multi-phase protocol. I dialed jackass number 1. He answered, sounding immediately irritated. "Hello." "You're a jackass," I yelled, same as always. But this time I didn't hang up. "Are you still there?" he yelled back, audibly angry. "Stop calling here. Who is this?" "Yeah, I'm still here," I replied calmly. "And no, I'm not going to stop calling." "What's your name, pal?" he demanded, voice rising. "My name," I said, adopting a slightly different cadence, one I'd practiced, "is Don Hanson." Silence for a second, then suspicious. "Don Hanson? Where do you live, Don?" I gave him the address I'd gotten from Jackass 2. 1802 West 34th Street. It's a yellow house and my black Camaro's parked out front. His breath hitched. He recognized the address or the car description, probably both. The arrogance in his voice was replaced by a dangerous edge. I'm coming over right now, Don. You'd better start saying your prayers. I injected a casual, dismissive tone into my voice. Yeah, like I'm really scared, jackass. And I hung up. First variable triggered, directed. Immediately, I dialed jackass number 2, Don Hanson. He answered with a curt, hello. Hello, jackass, I said cheerfully. If I ever find out who you are, he began, voice low and threatening. You'll what? I cut him off. Kick my butt? Yeah, I'll kick your butt. Well, I said, my voice dropping slightly, gaining a serious tone. Here's your chance. I'm coming over right now, jackass, to 1802 West 34th Street, the Yellow House, and I'm bringing friends. Silence on his end. He wasn't expecting that. Who is this? He yelled. I hung up the phone. Second variable triggered. Directed. Destination confirmed. The stage was set. 2 angry men, both believing they were meeting me. Don Hanson of 1802 West 34th Street, the jackass caller for a physical confrontation. One thinking I was the anonymous caller who'd harassed him for years. The other thinking I was the guy who'd called him a jackass after asking about his car. Neither knew the other existed until minutes ago, and neither knew I wasn't going to be there to fight. My role was now that of environmental control and observation. I needed to ensure the stage was properly set for maximum impact, and I needed an audience, not just me. First, I called the local police department, non-emergency line. I adopted a shaky, panicked voice. Yes, hello. I'm at 1802 West 34th Street. I need help. My gay lover is coming over right now, and I told him I'm going to kill him as soon as he gets here. He's bringing friends. I made sure to emphasize the address, the potential violence, and the bringing friends part to ensure a robust response. They assured me officers would be dispatched immediately. Next, I called the local news station, Channel 13. I used a different voice, more agitated civilian. Yeah, hi? You guys need to get down to West 34th Street, 1802 West 34th. Looks like a major gang war is about to break out. Cars pulling up, lots of yelling. You'd better send a crew. Inflating the situation slightly guarantees media presence, more witnesses, bigger impact. The stage was now set, police presence for containment and legitimacy, news crews for public exposure. 2 angry men converging on a single innocent address, both expecting a fight, both thinking the man they were looking for was named Don Hanson, lived in the yellow house with the black Camaro. Finally, I grabbed a pair of binoculars, hopped in my car, and drove to 34th Street. I parked several blocks away on a parallel street within sight of 1802 West 34th. I was there purely for observation, the director of this little production. I didn't have to wait long. Within minutes, the first patrol car arrived, lights flashing, then another, and another. Uniformed officers began cautiously approaching the yellow house at 1802 West 34th. The street started to fill with marked cars. An ambulance arrived, standard procedure for potential violence. Then the flashing lights of news vans. Channel 13 was there. Probably others too. A police helicopter appeared overhead, its spotlight sweeping. And then, the participants arrived. First, a beat-up sedan screeched to a halt near the house. Out jumped jackass number 1. He looked furious, scanning the crowd, clearly looking for Don Hanson. Moments later, a sleek black Camaro turned the corner, driven aggressively. Don Hanson himself. He parked directly in front of his yellow house, blocked partially by police cars. He got out, looking equally furious, scanning for the guy who just threatened him. Neither man recognized the other. They didn't know they were both looking for the same non-existent fight. They just saw an angry man standing near the address they were given. Jackass number 1 probably saw the Camaro and thought, that must be him. The jackass with the Camaro. Don Hanson probably saw the other guy glaring and thought, that's the one who threatened me. The collision was glorious, almost instantaneous. Heated words exchanged, shoving, then punches thrown. Right there in front of 6 police cars, an ambulance, flashing news cameras, and a hovering police helicopter. Two grown men beating each other up, neither fully understanding why, other than they both thought the other was a jackass who deserved it. The police moved in quickly to break it up. It wasn't easy. Both men were enraged, adrenaline pumping. It took multiple officers to restrain them, cuff them, and get them into separate patrol cars. The news cameras rolled the entire time. I could see reporters talking animatedly into their microphones. The anchors would have a field day with this. Breaking news, gang violence, parking dispute turns violent, local man attacked after car sale. The narratives would be endless, and none of them would be the truth. Sitting there watching the chaos I'd orchestrated, I felt a profound sense of balance. Not victory, not gloating, just balance. Two unnecessary system errors, two instances of unwarranted rudeness and arrogance. Both collected, both processed, both resulting in a perfectly executed system discharge. It wasn't personal, it was optimal. A couple of months after the incident, which made local headlines, by the way, described as a bizarre altercation, I received a summons for jury duty. Small city. Coincidence isn't statistically improbable. The case? Disorderly conduct. The defendants? Jackass number 1 and Jackass 2, aka Don Hanson. Sitting there in the courtroom, listening to the absurd testimony, neither man making eye contact with the other, still clearly seething, I felt that same sense of detached observation. I didn't need to influence the jury. The facts as presented were already absurd enough. Two men showing up at the same address, at the same time, both expecting to fight a guy who wasn't there, and then proceeding to fight each other. My only contribution was sitting there, a silent, invisible hand in the proceedings. When the verdict was read, I'll admit, a small, genuine smile did cross my face. The jury found them guilty, and in a highly unusual move, the jury foreman added, and we'd also like to find the defendants to be a couple of fucking jerks. System correction complete, parameters restored. The beauty of it? Neither man will ever know why it truly happened, why they were given each other's names and addresses. They'll likely blame some random threat, some online prank. The anonymous jackass caller remains just that, anonymous. So the next time you have a really bad day and you feel the system glitching, remember, sometimes the most satisfying solution isn't direct confrontation, it's careful planning, identifying vulnerabilities, and orchestrating a scenario where the system corrects itself with a little help from an engineer. Have you ever had to engineer a moment of cold justice? Share your most calculated counter protocol in the comments below.